What's going on, everybody? I hope you're having an amazing day, and I hope you're having an amazing week. As always, I wanted to talk about today the often unspoken about issue and root of a lot of problems that we see in the world, and especially in the United States today, which is society, culture, the media, and our mental intake, not just our physical and diet, nutritional intake. So I wanted to talk about this today because every time a major tragedy happens or an incident or every day, we always find the problems like up here instead of getting at the root of the problem. So that's what I want to talk about today. We're going to wait about 20-30 seconds for everyone to come into the live stream. Joe, Joseph, Samantha, thank you guys for coming. As always, you could check out my website, legendary.vision. That has all my links at the bottom to YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, whatnot. Dream Rare is my Instagram. My website, legendary.vision. worldcloudnetwork.com is the new news website. And I'll post my links below if you'd like to sign up to my email list at the end. I'll post it in the comment section. It's free. It's easy. It takes about 5-10 seconds. Let's wait about 15 more for people to get in. Thank you, Jasmine. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate you guys joining. And also check out the video I made yesterday if you guys would like. It's a way to beat the Facebook algorithm so you can see my posts and maybe other pages that you like posts. I made it yesterday as a tutorial that anybody can use no matter what their ideology, if they talk about sports or education or whatever. Facebook changed the algorithm to prioritize friends and family over pages. So if you haven't seen my page or other pages, it is because Facebook changed the algorithm, but there is a way to counter it. And also sharing posts, which you guys already do. I haven't even seen a dip, to be honest, because you guys are so amazing. Sharing is even bigger now because you have more power than pages and brands. So the more you share content that you like, whether it's me or somebody else, the more you help them now because you actually have more power than some pages and businesses. So there's a horrible shooting today, and I don't know exactly what it's about. I saw the Florida thing. It's some kid. He was a bad kid. They knew he was a bad kid. And every time a shooting happens or something happens, what really, really bothers me more than anything is that people, and even in politics, I get a lot of flack for saying things that are counterculture, counter mainstream. And everybody says to me, anomaly, blah, 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 you're this, you're that. They try to throw a label at me. But what I'm really honestly trying to do from the bottom of my heart and the bottom of my soul is I'm trying to get to the root of the issues, because the mainstream media, the television, Facebook, Twitter, Google, all of these pundits, these political pundits, whether they're liberal and conservative sometimes, they don't get to the root of the problem. They keep attacking the top of the issue. And it really bothers me because the issues and the problems that we all want to solve will never be solved unless you get to the root of them. I always use the example, it's like a hose spraying out water, and instead of turning the hose off or chopping off the part of the hose, people just keep slapping at the water and filling up buckets, but it's never going to go away. The school issue is never going to go away. Politics are never going to go away. Donald Trump is never going to go away, or the liberals, whatever that you don't like are never going to go away. Because the media is not telling you where the root of the problem is. And I've seen a degeneracy in society, in the media, in popular culture that I haven't seen in a while. And I want to just say for the record, I'm not above it. I'm not a super conservative person. If you are, much love. I'm just personally, I'm not coming from this I'm holier than thou standpoint. Like, I don't do things. I have a lot of fun. I like to experiment, try new things. I'm not uptight by any way, shape, or the form, but I do understand at a physical and a mental and a spiritual level, everything that you intake into your body, just like you eat, everything that you intake mentally has an effect on your life. It has an impact on yourself. I listen to, gangster rap. Sometimes I watch movies sometimes and whatnot, but to be honest, I really don't watch that many movies and television. But I'm not saying that you can't have fun and you can't do things. I'm far from perfect, but people don't understand how much power they have in what the media is doing, what social media is doing, what the televisions are now doing, what the movies are doing, what the music is doing, what society is doing, and what popular mainstream culture is doing. And it's very, 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 very toxic, so toxic. You understand, if you ate a tub of butter every single day and you woke up and you ate a whole tub of butter, and then at lunch you ate a whole tub of butter, and at dinner you ate a whole tub of butter, you wouldn't expect to live very long. And if you had, God forbid, a heart attack or whatever, you wouldn't be surprised because you're like, oh yeah, I ate butter for the past 5 years, just tub of butter, and I didn't eat any sort of nutrients. It's the same thing with your mental and spiritual intake. So all of these late night hosts, Jimmy Kimmel, whether it be Fox News or CNN or MSNBC, I don't like to watch television in general, not just because of the content that's on the screen is very negative and often very divisive, but the commercials too, they're programming you, they're filling your brain. Your brain is a wide open universe of, thoughts and all these emotions and whatnot, and they're telling you how to think, and they're filling it with the most toxic things, especially pharmacy pills. Whether I watch CNN, Fox, or Comedy Central, the commercials are nonstop, just the most toxic. Like, I feel sick and disgusted personally just watching television commercials. They make me feel sick. They're manifesting all these terrible things in you. They're feeding you the terrible foods, these pills that you don't need. Every kid is taking Ritalin or Adderall, and I've taken it, to be honest, multiple times. I never got prescribed it. My mom, thank God, she's an amazing woman. They tried to give it to me when I was like 15, and my mom was like, no, he doesn't have a problem. He's just like, he needs to be disciplined or whatever. So God bless my mom for that. But I've taken Adderall, and it's literally like 10-hour, cocaine or heroin. And not that I know what heroin feels like, but it's like the same as like methamphetamines. You look at the ingredients in it, it's like 10 hours of a strong drug that you should probably never take in your life anyway. It's really not good for people. So when all of these things happen, you have these holier than thou people on television saying, we gotta change the Second Amendment. We gotta take people's guns away. How come we never get at the root of the problem? Because if it's not a gun, and I'm not a huge fan of guns, to be honest, and I don't even want to get political for the sake of this live stream, but that's not the answer, is changing the Second Amendment and taking people's guns away. There's a mental phenomenon going on in the United States, and why are we surprised? Why should we be surprised? I mean, look at what the people are watching on television. It's not, 5-10 years ago, liberalism to me was like, oh, we got to let transgenders use the bathroom that they want to use in Texas. Like, that was the big scoop. It was like, what bathroom are they going to use? And that, I understand that argument. I get both sides of that debate. But now it's like these creepy mothers are pumping their 6-year-old kids with hormones and letting them watch all these creepy like reality television shows with all of these ridiculous toxic people. So it's like, at what point do we look within and realize that we need to be the change that we want to see in the world? We're not going to stop all the ills of the world and, ooh, Donald Trump's so bad, but I'm pumping my 6-year-old with hormones, and they're listening to all this terrible music, and they're watching all this violent, negative television, and then they turn on the news, and all it is negativity, division, race, religion, gender. We're all staring at our screens. You walk out into the streets nowadays, and everyone's just looking down at a little like 5x10 screen, just staring at a screen. But what are they staring at? How much of this content is good content? How many people are on Twitter having a good time, and how many people are having like educational, discussions and listening to stuff? I know it exists, and in that way the internet's amazing, podcasts and informative stuff and documentaries and even, music with a message and whatnot. It's all good stuff, but what is the mainstream doing? What is the main wave of our society doing? They're just intaking all of this degenerate stuff. You wouldn't eat a tub of lard every morning and wonder why you're not losing any weight and why you feel sick. So why would you be watching all of this disgusting, ridiculously negative, toxic news? All of this terrible social media, force-fed, ridiculous stuff. I mean, Twitter, the featured news section of Twitter is extreme left. And this is coming from someone who's a liberal. I believe in values. I believe people should be able to, pee where they want to pee. And I don't even want to get into that now, but like, I'm not a super conservative, like, I'm not trying to, like, even make this a discussion, but that's just me personally. I come from I believe in, equality, freedom, and, the right to do whatever you want. But these news sources that act like they're liberal, that's why everyone asks me, Anomaly, why don't you attack conservatives more? Because I'm all about the mind, the body, the soul, and the spirit. To me, that's how you change the world. It's not by saying, we gotta make universal health care, and we gotta take more of your taxes, and we'll fix all your problems. That's a lie. The politicians are lying to you. They're not going to fix the problems. Bernie Sanders is not going to fix your problems. Hillary Clinton's sure not going to fix your problem. And even Donald Trump is not going to fix your problem. He can only do so much. He's one person in a sea of like 10,000 ridiculous lunatics. So we have to be the change we want to see in the world. We need to help the politicians. We need to fix our communities. We need to fix ourselves and our minds. And all we're doing is pointing the blame to all these other people. It's them, it's them, it's them. And absolutely both sides of the political debate do it. And that's why my main message is always be the change that you want to see in the world. Work on yourself, do what you can on a local level. That makes a bigger difference than even, preaching to the choir or just saying stuff and then not being a good person. But what have we become? Why would we expect all of these terrible things to stop when we're intaking so much garbage mentally every single day? You watch the late night hosts and they're just hate. And the reason that I focus on liberals is, one, it's like a sports team. If, say, the Lakers are playing the Cavaliers, if I'm on the Lakers, and not to say I'm playing teams, but you fix your team by playing better yourself. You don't point at the other team and say, look how dumb conservatives are. Look how dumb Trump is. Oh my God, Trump is so dumb. Well, what are you doing? Because you lost to him. Like, you need to fix yourself. You need to change your own team to win a game. You don't win a game by making fun of the other side. It's disgusting. So in that way, I'm a blessing to liberals. I'm trying to help liberals level up because it's disgusting. And the other reason that I spend so much time, people think it's lopsided, it's because I'm about the mind, body, and soul, and who has a monopoly on the minds of the masses? It's the liberal media. It's all of CNN, New York Times, Washington Post, Twitter, Google, Facebook. They're all ridiculous extremists to the left. And even Fox News now is getting swallowed alive by liberals, by lunatic liberals like Shep Smith, because, Murdoch's sons are liberals. So, that's why I focus on the liberals, because they control the minds of the masses. And the minds of the masses are being fed garbage at every single step of the way. So if we want to talk about all these, surface problems like, oh, we got to do this and this and this and this and this, it's not true. We're never going to fix the problem. The shootings are not going to stop. The killings are not going to stop. The division's not going to stop, especially when it's people I talk to. Literally, I've met up with several people. I went to the beach the other day. I had a date the other day. And literally every girl that I run into tells me that she wants to kill conservatives. I'm not even exaggerating. This is like a disturbing reality that for some reason, I'm not even talking about politics. I say I do news analysis. I don't even say what I do. And they tell me, oh yeah, I wish I could wipe Florida off the map. I wish I could, just kill all conservatives in Florida. I wish I could assassinate President Trump and live on a communist island. These are literal things that people say to me in person. Why do people think that? I don't say, oh, let's kill all the liberals. I literally have never said that or thought that in my life. What I want to do is empower people. I want to educate them. Even if I hated conservatives, I would say, let me educate conservatives. Like, let me go to middle America and let me teach them. Let me, inspire them. Let's help them grow. Like, that's what I would say. But everyone else is like, let's just kill everybody. And then we wonder why there's shootings. It's because you're programming people via the news to want to literally kill people and wipe them off the face of the planet because you're incapable of having a logical, intelligent, or common sense based discussion because the left has gone so damn far. So, and they're spreading degenerate culture. I don't agree with everything that conservatives say. I don't think Republicans are the answer for everything in the problem. But who's controlling the minds? Who's controlling the media? Who's really pushing our culture in a creepy direction? Like a couple years ago, it was, what bathroom should they use? Now it's like, let me literally inject my 6-year-old with hormones because I'm going to tell them what gender they are. And if you say anything else, you're a racist, sexist bigot. I wish I was joking. This is the stuff that Twitter pushes. This is the stuff that the mainstream media is like force-feeding people. And then they're telling you to love North Korea and hate the president and the vice president of the United States. Are we really surprised that there's all these terrible things going on? And on that note, I do want to say, I do think it's the greatest time ever to be alive. I do think it's one of the safest times ever to be alive. But there's, someone said there's 17 people dead. That's terrible. That's horrible. It's disgusting. It's disturbing. But how are we going to stop this? a culture and a societal thing. Clearly, we have never had this many mass shootings. We've had guns, taking people's guns away. Unfortunately, in theory, it's like, oh, let's give all our taxes and all our guns to the government. Things are going to be perfect. It would never work. There's millions of illegal guns flowing on the streets at all times. You're never going to take all of them away. There's a mental and a spiritual problem going on in our country. And how could we be surprised? The mainstream culture, and this includes Facebook, Twitter, Google, and 95% of the media, they're forcing this spiritless, familyless ideology on people. Like they're making men hate women. They're making people hate their family. They're making people hate, any sort of like structural, any sort of structure that would help you. I'm all for freedom. Trust me, I want to break out of the matrix, but like certain structures help you. Like if you're just completely lawless and completely soulless and completely spiritless, you're not progressive, you're not revolutionary, you're not liberal, you're going to be like a disturbing weirdo. And that's the ideology that they're pushing. And other countries that have tried to destroy America for years, that's their map, that's their roadmap. What's happening now is their roadmap. It's destroy the family, destroy the man-woman relationship, destroy masculinity. Like that's how you demoralize and destabilize a nation. And it's no surprise that it's coming here now. That's what every, whether it be communist China or Soviet Russia, this was their plan to destroy the U.S. Like turn everybody into a bunch of, beta males, turn men into women, destroy the family, make women hate men. I mean, that's how you end up with all these kids killing each other. They don't have parents, they don't have role models, and any mainstream role model is a degenerate. I mean, these people like Don Lemon who act like they're wholesome, American man. I'm Don Lemon and I'm going to stand up for race relations. They're propagandists of the highest form. They're negative, race baiting, religion baiting, gender baiting, family destroying, American destroying, value destroying, cultural destroying. I don't care if you're Christian, Muslim, or Jewish, but one of the things that has made America a pretty decent place for a long time was our basic structure. I'm not saying that you need to wrap all the women up, and not let them show their faces. Like, that's conservatism. Like, Muslim is a conservative religion. It's not a liberal religion. That's why the irony of, like, the liberals are like, we love Muslims. Muslims are, like, 20 times more conservative than conservative Christians. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Personally, quite frankly, I understand. But in general, it's like nothing makes sense anymore. The media and our society and our culture, they're on a one-way train to just destroy all common sense, to destroy all unity, to destroy all logic. And people are playing along, and I'm not surprised, because that's what happens of 20 years of television brainwashing. That's what happens of 5 years of social media brainwashing. That's what happens of 7 years of Google lying to you. That's what happens when any sort of truth gets out and these pseudo-liberal politicians go to Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg and say, hey, Mark Zuckerberg, Russia's hacking everything, so you need to destroy all sort of flow of information because we need to force this creepy, extremist, degenerate agenda down people's throats. I'm a real liberal. I believe in true liberalism, but there's it has nothing to do with liberalism. The politicians are lying to you, the social media is lying to you, and they're pushing this creepy, weird, degenerate culture down people's throats. Like, what is the world going to look like in 20 years, in 30 years? It's gotten better for a while, but we're at a weird point now. We're having a lot of lows while we're having highs. Like, it might be safer. A lot of the cities are better, for sure. We've made major, major improvements, so I don't want to be a total Debbie Downer on a dark day. But there's a huge mental problem going on in the U.S. And just look at the correlations instead of saying it's guns. I mean, the cities with the highest gun control, they have the highest gun violence because there's millions of illegal guns going around, and that's not the problem. Let's look at pharmacy pills. I mean, in the 1950s, and I'm not anti-Western medicine, I'm very appreciative of it, but like 20% of it's necessary and helpful, and 80% of it is pure garbage to destroy your mind, body, and soul. And they're not just feeding it to adults. We have the worst pill problem in the world. They're feeding it to kids. They're giving kids meth and cocaine. So you already have problems. You're depressed. and now you're on these mind-altering drugs. What do you expect? Like, why would mass shootings go down when our society is divided? We're more divided than ever. We're more negative than ever. The people who claim that they're the all-bearing, like, oh, I'm better than everybody in America, they're the ones telling me in the streets literally that they want to kill people. Like, I'm not making this stuff up. Like, people say this to my face. Like, that's a normal thing to say. It's creepy. And I'm not saying all liberals do that. I'm just saying from my personal experiences, I have really cool, nice, liberal and progressive friends, but a creepy number of people that hate conservatives and Donald Trump, they just want to kill everybody. So I'm just not surprised, I'm sorry, when something horrible like this happens. Because why wouldn't it happen? That's what they feed you every single day. They're feeding you degeneracy. And I don't care if you listen to music or you have fun. I'm not saying to like be a stick in the mud, but everything you eat has an influence on your body, and how much you exercise and how much you walk. It's the same thing with your mind. Everything you intake has an effect. And CNN is garbage. It's like a tub of lard. Even Fox News, there's a few people on there that I think are good, but you know, it's garbage. It's negativity. Sometimes they have a big scoop, but what are they selling to you on their commercials? What are these, oh, I'm so much better than everyone else? Who are the sponsors that they're working with? Are they working with, an organic orange company? Or are they working with pharmacy pills telling you you're depressed, making you depressed, and then selling you the cure that's not really the cure, that's messing your mind up? So nothing about any of this makes sense. I know all of the news hosts and everybody's going to act like they're all better than everybody and say, here's how we're going to stop all the killings, blah, blah, blah. We're going to stop them because I hate Republicans. I hate conservatives. Go kill conservatives. And then the commercial will be for some pill that will mind alter you. They're literally destroying the country and destroying people's minds, bodies, and souls. So my question is, when will it be the appropriate time to take this on a bigger platform and talk about the degeneracy of our culture, the ridiculous pharmacy problem that we have, and the fact that we are intaking garbage, and then someone like me comes along trying to help people, trying to inspire people, trying to bring people together, trying to, be the balance that our society needs. And how do they treat me? Like I don't even exist, or they try to censor me. I mean, not to talk myself up, but I've gotten 200 million video views, over 1 billion people reached. Like, this is beyond what any revolutionary did in the 1950s and 60s, luckily, to the internet. They've not written a single article about me. They've not done anything. My grandparents worked in factories. My parents work hard, physical labor, and they don't care. I don't even exist. If I was a transgender and I shot a cop, I would be a hero. But because I'm inspiring and educating people and spreading love, truth, knowledge, wisdom, and like a balance to this political insanity, not only do I not exist, not only do they not want to promote me, but they want to destroy me. They want to censor me. They want to label me. This is a disgusting, sick society, and they're not doing it because there's better people out there educating and inspiring people. Anyone that's educating and inspiring, they're trying to literally destroy. They don't want me to exist. They don't want me to have a platform. They want everybody to be as hateful as them. They want everybody to be as stupid as them. They want everyone to watch reality shows and watch these fake. First of all, none of these shows, it's like an embarrassing level. I get that they can be entertaining and stuff, but they're all fake. They're all scripted. Like, there's nothing real about them. I've been on the set of one. It's like faker than you think. It's like the news. You know it's fake. You know it's really, 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 really fake. But then you see how fake it is, and you're like, oh my God, I knew it was really fake, but it's 5,000 times. It's like eating lard for your brain. And then a reality show, I would think, is at least probably better than even the news. The news is even worse. It's like a fake reality show. The difference is, a reality show's fake, but people think the news is real. The news is a reality show now. They've turned it into a reality show, and the star is a reality TV star. I mean, they're using him like it's a show that they can just script. Well, I think this about him because I'm mentally ill, and an anonymous source that's also mentally ill said that he's a bad guy, and now everyone else believes it, and they eat all the pills that we tell them to eat. I mean, what in the world do people expect? So I'm sick of and tired of these late night hosts and these liberals and even, conservatives. But I'm just sick of people who act like they have the moral high ground, who act like they're helping people, but what they're really doing is destroying the country. The only thing that we have that unites us in this country is the fact that we're all Americans. We're all human beings. We all breathe. We all have blood. They're trying to take that away from us. That's all we have in common, and they don't want us to be united over that. That's all we have. And they want to spread all these pill commercials, all these pharmacy commercials, partner with the most disgusting brands, who are just raping the country and raping the world of oil and raping the world of resources and terrible foods and, palm oil and pills. Like, that's all the commercials. Like, maybe you see Wix. Now that the internet companies have so much money, there's like Squarespace and Wix. But who dominates the advertising space? They don't care about you. CNN doesn't care about you. Fox News doesn't really care about you. There's a few people there that might care about you slightly, but they just want to make money. And this is the root of the problem. The root of the problem is changing yourself to change the world, but nobody wants to do that. And all of these people that I talk to in person that hate everyone else, you get down to the core of it, and they show what a sick, disturbed, mentally ill, unstable person that they are. And I'm not surprised. And it's never going to change until people have an awakening, and I do believe it's happening, but in the midst of that awakening, they're trying to destroy it. And everybody thinks, they're trying to make society better. No, they're trying to destabilize the United States, and it's working. I made a tweet earlier today on my Twitter. That's what the American media and the American politicians do. They destabilize other countries. Read a goddamn history book. Go back to the 1970s and 80s. Republican, Democrat, Republican, Democrat, Republican, Democrat. Doesn't matter. They go to other countries. They destabilize other countries. They use the media to justify all these wars with no evidence. And then they go to these countries, fund groups that will destabilize the country. That's what they do. I thought liberals knew that, and progressives knew that, and conservatives knew that. That's what they've been doing. They're doing it here now. Because why did they destabilize Syria? Why did they destabilize Libya? They did it for multiple reasons. One, because of money, and two, because of control and power. They didn't like the leader of Libya. They don't like the leader of Syria because they're not a puppet to what they want to do. They like people that sit up there and lie to you and then do what they want them to do. So they're trying to destabilize our country right now because they don't have a puppet in office. President Trump, whether you love him or hate him, he's not doing the becking and calling of these politicians and these warmongers. He's not doing exactly what they want to do when they want to do it. He's a loose cannon, and they don't like that. So whether you're watching the news or you're listening to a podcast who acts like they're pseudo, intelligent, like I'm better than people because I went to college, they're lying to you. They're destabilizing the country. It's not just they want equal rights for trans women, and they want equal rights for LGBT community and regular women and men and people of color. They're trying to make women hate men. They're trying to turn everybody against everybody. They're trying to pump 5-year-olds with hormone pills. Like, they're killing families. They want no common sense. They want no sort of family structure, because that's how you really succeed. Is like, I come from, my parents divorced. Luckily, I had 2 parents that cared about me and did a really good job. But in general, I'm not here to preach about a perfect family, because I don't even come from one, to be honest. And I had a lot of struggles and whatnot, but it's not a big deal. But in general, like, having a base at home or having like something, it's a way to counter all of this nonsense. And that's why they don't want people to educate their kids. They want them to send them off to school, turn on the television, turn on the social. They're hijacking people from their own families, and they don't want relationships to exist. Social media doesn't help. The phones don't help as well. It's not all politics and all media. It's also technology. It's a lot harder to stay with somebody. It's a lot harder to have a relationship, because now instead of a few options in a landline, you have 10 million options, and you could text somebody in China or Japan. So it's not just the politicians. It's not just a certain ideology, but this is what the news is doing. They're making no effort to counter that. They're just raking up the money. You see, New York Times, I just saw an article saying that they made more money than they've ever made in their entire life. Like, subscriptions are up. They have you in a reality show. It's like The Bachelorette. It's like the Kardashians. It's like these other weird, trashy reality shows that they have. That's what they're doing. They have you caught in this fake scripted show. The only difference is people think it's real. So once again, I'm just wondering when the right time to ask the question is, if we're going to talk about all these policies, and it goes to the left and the right, that's why even when it comes down to it, I don't have that many set stances, because my main mission is not to pass a bunch of legislation. People say run for president. First of all, I'm 28 years old, or not run for president, run for office or something. I don't want to be a politician. They're a bunch of low-energy crabs, liars, who want you to pay them. Oh yeah, I'm going to fix all your problems and write all these legislation in. It's not going to come from legislation. It's going to come from within. It's going to come from educating people. I don't want you to give me something so then I can change a law for you. I want you to empower yourself, because no matter what political ideology is in there, if you have a spiritual and a mental advantage on other people, and you're spiritually sound and you're happy and you're comfortable and you're ambitious, those are the things that are going to elevate society. But everybody wants the easy way out. They want the quick pill to get rid of depression. But what does the quick pill do? It makes you even crazier. They want the quick fix. Oh, my kid's creative, so instead of just like letting him be creative and realizing he's a musician or a painter, I'm going to shove Adderall down his throat and give him 10-hour cocaine so he pays attention in school. It's the same thing from within. Like, doesn't matter who's president, doesn't matter if it's Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton or Barack Obama. During Barack Obama's 8 years, I was still succeeding and thriving, making YouTube videos. I was rapping, getting millions of views, getting flown across the country for my hip-hop music, because I don't care. I don't agree with certain policies of certain presidents, but it's a lie that they're getting people to think that all of the problems in the world started with one guy. They are the problem. This is why they have you running in circles, because if you stop running in circles of this political circus, you realize you're following the clowns. There's a king of the new circus. The new king of the circus, Trump, is there because they're clowns. CNN is clown news network. They're all a bunch of clowns leading you on this ridiculous path of just moral, social, and societal degeneracy. I can't even think of a better word to use it. And I'm far from somebody who's judgmental. I don't care what you do. I don't care what music you listen to. But every single thing that you intake has an effect on you, just like everything you eat and every exercise and every move you make. And people are just filling their minds with garbage. Social media news sites are pushing garbage. The television is televising garbage. Commercials are pure garbage. They're feeding us with garbage. And then they get on TV and act like they need to change the law in order to stop it. And then they have the commercial break and it's garbage. And then you get back from the commercial to the show and it's garbage. And then these trash cans sit up there with a microphone and a suit on, literal human trash, human filth, and then they act like they're going to solve all your problems. It's disgusting. It's disturbing. And they're lying. Because none of these problems are ever going to get solved. They're not going to stop the mass shootings. They're not going to stop the crime. They're not going to stop the negativity, because they are the negativity. They don't inspire people. They don't tell people. There's a few people out now doing it, and they're doing tremendously well because it's so rare. I'm not that special. I'm not that, I'm not the be-all, end-all. I'm just not a complete coward. I'm not a complete phony. I don't have personal issues, and I'm not deflecting them out on the world because I hate myself. And that's what 99% of these people are doing. A lot of political pundits, they hate themselves, and they mask it in being angry like they're going to change the whole world, but they have issues themselves, and it's blatantly obvious. A lot of these television hosts, they might think they're good people because they've sat in front of a camera for 50 years, and they're so delusional from being like pampered and privileged and being in this, fake reality bubble. And I'm sure their hearts are in the right place, but they're just lying to people, and they're continuing to promote the problem that they act like they're going to stop. And I'm just a little bit tired of it. And it's like, how long are we going to play the same game? You have China cloning monkeys. You have Elon Musk pretending like he's sending cars to space. And we're sitting here eating pills and injecting our 6-year-olds with hormones and 10,000, needles. And then someone's like, hey, should we be injecting our kids with that much stuff? And they're like, you're a denier. You're a science denier. I'm not saying vaccines are bad. I'm not saying Western medicine's bad. I'm very grateful for it. But what I'm saying is, if you don't question anything, you're going to get fed pills. Just because 5 vaccines are good for you doesn't mean 10,000 vaccines are good for you. Just because 50 pills are good for you doesn't mean 500,000 pills are good for you. Just because there's 100 and 500 real disorders doesn't mean there's 2 million disorders. They're making stuff up because the modern day person is so dumb. They not only accept anything that's given to them, they'll eat any pill, they'll take any shot, they'll watch any television show, but they've turned people into zombies where they not only, damage themselves and eat trash themselves and their minds are filled with trash, but they're trained and programmed to attack anybody that isn't pure trash. So they're not just trash compactors. They're like trash compactor zombies where they're like, why aren't you a trash can like me? Don't you want to be a trash can? Don't you want this trash? Don't you agree with this trash? Don't you watch Jimmy Kimmel's trash? Don't you like Twitter's trash? Don't you want to inject your kids with 5,000 shots? No, I don't. And there's definitely extremists on both sides, and there's, conservatives who do push conspiracy theories, and they do push fake articles. I see it all the time. I don't do that, though. That's why you don't see, I carefully watch everything I post. I don't just post something because I heard it, or I don't just post a picture because I read it. And I see people do that all the time, but that's why a lot of people trust me more, because I monitor everything myself. I don't have a team. I edit every video. I spend, 80 hours a week. My whole life is work. I definitely play and have fun, but I pretty much sacrificed a normal life to try to do good. At the same time, better myself and have fun as well. But that's my agenda. It's not even a political agenda. I don't care that much about politics. I just think people are being really, really dumb when it comes to politics, and it couldn't be more clear. I mean, it's embarrassing. And everybody just needs to take a step back, not only look at themselves spiritually and physically, but also mentally. What are you ingesting? That's the mission I have. I'm trying to wake people up, because human beings are being programmed like computers, and they don't even notice it, because it's on Facebook, it's on Twitter, it's on NPR, it's on CNN, it's on the Fox News commercials. It doesn't matter. They're programming people, and it's not just politically, it's also mentally, physically, and spiritually. And they're not programming people like they used to. Like, the problem used to be, people are too conservative, and they're too Bible thumping. I get it. But now it's the complete opposite. People are like soulless and spiritualists and have no lawless. They're lawless. They just think like, nothing matters, and I'm going to walk through life, and I'm going to hate everybody, and I'm going to eat everything. I'm going to watch all these shows, and I'm going to, take all these pills, and I'm going to take all these shots, and nothing's going to happen. If you question me, you're a bad person. You're racist and sexist and xenophobic. And it's just not true. People need to get a grip with themselves and stop using every little situation to then preach this message of like overreaching government. Like, everything that happens, you notice, we need to do this, we need to do that. No, we the people need to step up and wake up. That's what's going to change it, because it's not going to stop, unfortunately, until more people wake up. But on a positive note, I do believe that people are waking up, and I do believe the revolution is here. I believe it started. I believe there's a mental revolution, and because we've had so much progress, the news and the politicians and the evil forces are in overdrive to reverse any progress that we've had over the last year. We've had a whole flip-flop where people who weren't that woke became extreme, and I'm not talking fake woke. I don't even like to use that word because it's been so mainstream, and the fake woke people are the least woke anyway, but it's been like a reversal. It's like people who weren't open-minded are extremely open-minded now, and the people who claim that they're the most open-minded people on the planet are the most stubborn and closed-minded people on the planet. So it is the greatest time to be alive. It's the safest time to be alive. It's the healthiest time to be alive. It's the happiest time to be alive if we make it. But we do have a problem with like huge weird events, but it's multi-layered. Change yourself to change the world. Think about what you're taking in spiritually, mentally, and physically. We're not perfect. You're not going to do everything right, but just don't not consider it and think that like you can do things on a pattern for years and it's not going to affect you. Even my flaws and my weaknesses, I know they're affecting me. It's not like I'm like completely clueless. Like, I'm just gonna take all this stuff in and I'll be fine, and I'm gonna blame everyone else. And also, you have political forces in the media, in social media now, infiltrating, that want to destabilize America. That's what they do. That's what they've done for the past 50 years. All they do is go around places and destabilize them. So why do you think it could happen in Syria? Why do you think it could happen in Libya? Why don't you think it could happen in the United States? It is happening, and they're forcefully not only ruining our whole culture, ruining our whole society, ruining our whole unity, but they're trying to import people with this backwards twisted ideology that help destabilize other countries. They're in overdrive trying to destroy the progress that we've made. So please, my plea is just think. Just think for yourself. Just think about what you do and question this moral decay of our society. And it's in the television. It's in the music. Someone played me like 20 songs, a couple months ago, and I've listened to music. Trust me, I listen to gangster rap. I listen to it all. I'm not above any of it, but I'm listening to the music now that they're listening, and it's like 50 times more ignorant than even gangster rap from the 90s or the 2000s. Like, I've listened to Birdman. Birdman barely even says words. He was just like not even rhyming. And these kids nowadays, they're like 50 times more ignorant than the most ignorant rapper I've ever heard that I actually enjoy. It's just like, what do you think's going to happen? You're listening to that music. You're watching that television. You're taking that fake medicine. It's ridiculous. And those same people are the ones trying to deflect blame and act like it's anybody. They're attacking people who are like, have a base, who have some sort of structure. And it's unacceptable. Thank you guys so much for listening. I do believe it's the best time ever. We're not going to let this negativity and this horrible situation get us down. It's very sad what happened today and what continues to happen. There's sadness every day. Millions of people die. It's horrible. Millions of people are born. That's life. But we've made so much progress. There's no reason to not continue the awakening and just like reclaim our minds, our bodies, our souls, and our country. Thank you guys so much for listening. I'm going to post my email link below. If you'd like to sign up, it's a free email list. Please do stay connected, especially since social media, clearly probably doesn't even want me to be here. And politicians always come to Facebook and they're like, oh, everybody's a Russian bot. Let's silence them because they need to be degenerates like we are. So please sign up to the email list. That is free. I'm going to post my donation link as well. Thank you guys so much for supporting in that way. And to the low energy crab haters who have a problem with that, I also give life coach lessons. So if you're a low energy crab, $100,000 a day for you is my life coach fee. And for everybody else, it's all love. It's just free. Just email me. I'll answer. There's people making hundreds of millions of dollars. I barely scrape by, and I enjoy it, and I do it for the right reasons. So please don't hate on the movement. Like, go use your energy to some multi-billion-dollar corporation, not me sitting on my couch trying to level up and really counter the world with good energy. So much love again. I'm going to post my links below. Have an amazing week. Have an amazing year. And I appreciate you guys for joining. Thank you so much.